Making the front pages then, Elena.
Well, is it too late for Nicolas Sarkozy? There's a lot of criticism, I was saying yesterday and earlier today, in the right wing within his own party, saying he might have just got the timing wrong. Is he waiting too late to announce his candidacy? Now, these doubts have got as far as the front page of Le Figaro, which normally is extremely loyal to Sarkozy and can be guaranteed to come out with editorials every day backing whatever he's chosen to do. So you can see that the doubts have got quite deeply rooted in the UMP if they're as far as the Figaro front page. Now, Sarkozy, does he need to speed up? Is the headline. What they mean, of course, is speed up the announcement that he is definitely standing for this French presidential election. This is kind of a debate about nothing because we know he definitely will stand. It's not as if there are other voices within his party who might stand against him. But by postponing the official announcement, the latest we hear is that he might postpone it until March. Then, of course, he's pulling himself out of the campaign. He's allowing Francois Hollande, the paper says, to manipulate all the media attention, win over all the votes, and he's kind of backing that people might change their mind at the very last minute. He's sort of hoping Hollande will run out of ammunition and then he'll have a clear run to the presidency. But Le Figaro says that's pretty unlikely. The Le Monde's editorial here on their front page has a pretty same point of view. The art of wasting a good idea, it's headlined. They're talking about the financial transactions tax and VAT rise he announced on Sunday night. They say they might be excellent ideas, but having left them to the very last minute of his presidency and then announced them while people's minds, of course, are on other things, he's thrown them away.
Now, of course, we were also talking a lot yesterday about his big TV interview, which was on Sunday night here in France, and a lot of the papers actually talking about where he stands after that interview.
Well, Libération sort of saw it as an unpleasant reminder of the past. On this front page, we've got this picture of Nicolas Sarkozy from 2007 with his famous electoral slogan of that year, work more to earn more. Flip it the other way up and we've got a rather sadder picture of Sarkozy from 2012 with the slogan, work less to earn less. Now, they're focusing on an announcement he made on Sunday night that he's going to allow companies to cut people's hours and as a result correspondingly cut their pay in order to lay less people off when factories, for example, have less work because of the recession. This has gone down extremely badly with left-wing Libération, who say that if the right wing have learned anything from the 2008 recession, it should be that ultra-liberalism in economics does not create jobs, and just attacking the amount of rights that French workers have will not help get the economy back on its feet. The bosses themselves don't seem to be very much keener on those new announcements that he made on Sunday night. Here on the front page of La Croix, we've got bosses judge the social VAT. And according to the paper, the bosses, business owners themselves, don't think that those measures, while they welcome them, will actually help them create jobs.
I didn't know that we really care after that Libération front page, but is anyone else making the front pages?
Well, Marine Le Pen is she bluffing, asks the front page of Le Parisien here. Bluffing about what? Well, she's making a lot of media song and dance about those 500 signatures of France's local mayors, of which overall there are thousands, which she needs by the 16th of March, otherwise she can't stand for the presidency. Now, the paper reckons that they say the UMP and the Socialist Party both say that she's bluffing, she'll get those signatures eventually. Her father made a fuss about this every 4 years, every presidential election, and the only time he actually failed to get his name on the ballot paper was in 1981, when he was only credited with less than 1% of voting intentions. Now she's credited with 16%. So the chances of her not being on that ballot paper are pretty small, but there's a nice cartoon in here that shows just why France's local mayors might not be too keen to vote for her. They've got her asking for sponsorship from a few mayors, saying, you corrupt men in the pockets of European bureaucrats, will you sponsor me? And the not very keen mayors are responding, well, you know, you'd have to really believe in democracy, wouldn't you? But Le Parisien do also say in a poll that 70% of the French say that while they wouldn't actually vote for her, they think it's important for democracy to get her name on that ballot paper.
Very short mayors as well. She's not the only minority candidate in the papers, quickly as well.
No, Eva Joly is also in Le Parisien. Now, her candidacy has collapsed. She's got just 3% in the latest polls, whereas her party, the Greens, got 16% in European elections just a couple of years ago. So she's publishing an autobiography today to try and come up with, to kind of win voters around with her personal story, which is very interesting. She came to Norway as an au pair years ago and then managed to become one of France's most famous investigating magistrates, getting her teeth into some really big corruption cases. In that autobiography, apparently she talks about how she was threatened with death for investigating corruption at the oil firm Elf. So it's a great story, but Le Parisien reckons it might not necessarily win voters around.
Elena, thanks a lot. That's Elena with a review of the French papers today here on France 24. Headlines then, Syrian forces determined to stamp out the